This is the most epic finish to a race I've ever seen before, and it is certainly one of the fastest. With 1 mile to go, there was still a pack of 7 runners side by side, all within half a second of each other. Nobody had managed to break free in the swim or the bike, and it all come down to the last 1600 metres. In this group we had the Brownlee brothers, Richard Murray, Mario Mola, Javier Gomez, literally the best of the best, all within touching distance of each other. At the time, Alistair Brownlee was actually preparing to run the 10,000 metres at the Commonwealth Games, so one would assume he'd had the edge, with the 28-minute shape he was in, which is just remarkable, with an average pace per kilometre of 2 minutes and 51 seconds. This is pro-runner territory, and actually puts you up there with some of the best runners in the UK. That being said, Richard Murray is arguably again one of the best runners in triathlon, with himself having clocked a 28-minute 10k also. But honestly, the fact of the matter is, when you've been racing for an hour or so, past performances and times do not matter at all. It's all about who has the freshest legs and ultimately has conserved the most energy. These guys are all world-class, top-caliber athletes, so it would be unfair to rule anybody out at this point, as it's all for takes, with them actually running the last mile in 4 minutes 29 seconds, just outrageous, and faster than even amazing runners could do fresh, meaning they were all going to be in the red zone, so to speak, and pushing as hard as they possibly could. And this is ultimately what it's about. How hard can you push and not blow up, leaving nothing in the tank? This type of effort is such a fine art though, as you need to be at your breaking point, but still have a little something left to kick in those last few hundred metres or so. The lactate is going to be building, and it's about who can deal with this the best. This finish was also back in 2014, and so this is before all the fancy carbon-plated shoe technology, which makes this all the more spectacular. You can start to see Javier Gomez falling off the back of this group. They're running at 2:49 per kilometre pace at this point, so you really would expect to see some fractures in this big pack. Ali Brownlee is really keeping it hot at the front and clearly wanting to make this race as hard as possible for everyone else behind him. When you're this pedigree of runner though that Alistair is, you can really lay it down early on and eliminate the risk of being passed in a sprint finish. This is a very similar tactic that we see Christian Blumenfeld use, where he starts to kick quite early on and break everyone right down before those last few hundred metres. Richard Murray then comes to test the waters at the front of the race, but you can see Ali is not wanting to pass up that lead position at all. Look at the wincing on his face, he's clearly in a great deal of pain, and this is what it's all about. How well can you deal with that pain and just put it off? You can really see the form of the athlete starting to deteriorate as well, as you'd expect really, with some lateral movements in the shoulders and drooping of the chest. With now only 800 metres left, Brownlee is not holding back at all. In fact, it looks as if he's racing as if he's only got 100 metres left. What is he thinking? Has he emptied the tank too early? Maybe? You know, his heart rate at this point is going to be sky high, and he's 100% at max exertion. He is going balls to the wall. This group is now splitting up big time. Bailey from Australia has been spat out the back, and it looks as if Jonny Brownlee and Gomez will be next. They're into a full-blown sprint and must be down to those 2:30 per kilometre paces. There are just 3 of them left, Ali, Murray and Mola, and they're separating themselves from the rest of the field. But who is going to get the top spot? The blue carpet is in sight and the finish is there. Look at the crowds though, this is on home soil for Brownlee. Can this give him the spur that he needs? Unfortunately not. Alistair starts to fall off and it seems as if he'd kicked slightly too early and couldn't maintain that crazy level of intensity and speed that he started out at. It's a big risk to race like this, but honestly it's sometimes a risk you've got to take and something you've got to do to win, and that can have its downsides because sometimes you self-implode, as we're seeing here. Both Murray and Mola seemed as if they'd both managed to save quite a bit of energy and have actually played sort of the cards in their favour, giving themselves the ability to kick on right at the end, and this was ultimately Brownlee's downfall on this day. At this point, Brownlee's lost it due to that poor positioning and pacing. With then 20 metres left, Mola overtakes Murray and takes the win. Clearly this is just such an insane finish, and it's more than just about fitness, otherwise Brownlee would have won. You really need to play these tactics in your own favour, and it's more than just pure speed, with execution of the race playing a massive part also. Look, this finish was incredible. A 4:29 last mile is just unheard of. It really is, especially at the back of a very hard grueling swim, bike and run. I really do not believe that this type of finish will ever be seen again. It is just truly epic, and the pedigree of runners in this sort of little pack at the end was just, incredible. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know down below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, drop in a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.